everyone. I'm Rachel here with Ari and Chip in the background, and we're your hosts for the Merry Writer podcast. This week, we're on episode 308 asking how can you effectively pitch to book bloggers? Before we start, don't forget to visit and follow our coffee page. You can access lots of free goodies, and if you're in a position to support us financially, you can become a Merry Writer for just $2 a month and get exclusive monthly content. Everything earned on coffee goes into keeping the show going, and we really appreciate any support. So I wanted to talk about pitching to book bloggers because I used to intern for a book publicist almost a decade ago. I realized I'm so old. But after a year, I took on my own clients as a freelance publicist for a few years. And we might have talked about book publicity on the show before. I really can't remember. I definitely can't remember if we ever discussed pitching your book specifically to reviewers. So here we go. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I do want to talk about before, or what you should do before sending your pitch. And the first thing you need to do, because this is a process, okay? It's a process. So before you send your pitch, you need to understand what a book blogger does. Some do it as a hobby, others are influencers, quote unquote, in the reading community. And regardless, book reviewing and running a book blog takes a lot of time, effort, and money. You're not just asking them to read a copy of your book and share their thoughts. You're asking them for their time, their space on their blog, and their audience's attention. Second, you want to get to know the reviewer before connecting with them. I was never a fan of cold pitching. I prefer warm pitching, where you actually get to know who you're reaching out to before you ask them for a favor. This includes following their blog, reading their posts, and commenting on their posts. Learn their review style, figure out what books they like and dislike, and decide if your book would be a good fit for them and their audience. And I mean actually be interested in what they write about on their website. Don't read a handful of their reviews and immediately reach out because they're more than just book reviewers. And by doing this, they'll learn your name and perhaps return the favor and check out your blog on their own. So when you do reach out, they'll recognize you and be more likely to respond. Even if the answer is a no, but at least they will take the time out of their day to respond to your initial email. And finally, read their review guidelines. Most book reviewers have a review policy on their website. And in addition to reading what they write, read through their policy to learn what they accept and what they don't accept. For example, it should list what formats they accept, what genres they love, genres they consider, and which genres are a hard pass for them. It may state that they also accept author interviews and participate in blog tours. It will probably say the turnaround time for the review, what their content calendar is like, etc. Most importantly, it'll say whether they're currently open to review requests or not. If they are currently closed, please do not send them an email because that is annoying. Create a list of book bloggers who you'd like to reach out to and plan for when you should reach out to them.
Yeah, I have to say, I am not a book blogger. I'm not a book reviewer in the sense of what we're talking about. But I do have an author blog. Same with Rachel. Rachel has her blog. And we've been doing this a long time. And we both accepted guest posts and guest interviews for a lot of the years we've been blogging. And I'll agree. I will concur. Cold pitching really gets on your nerves, especially when they drop into your contact form and go ask all these questions, and there's literally a header saying, guidelines that they can read all of the things they're now asking you questions on because they didn't take the 2 minutes to read through your blog. Add to that when they don't even bother to learn your name, which is the name on your freaking URL. That's another complaint. Yeah, that just really used to frustrate me. And as Rachel said, like when we stopped doing guest posts for a while, we both stopped doing it, you would still get emails asking, even if the page was there saying, I am not currently accepted. So it's not like we just took it away. Don't do that, because I can tell you now, from my experience, you went on a blacklist. You went on a block list when you did that. So don't do that, because it will be more detrimental to you than helpful. You need to be polite and professional and thoughtful about their time, because as you said, it is a lot of time. No, I'm not even talking about book bloggers who have to read the book and then put the thing in. Any type of effort, like whether it's a podcast or a blog, It's time and effort. And it's brilliant that people are willing to offer spaces to authors for this stuff. And it should not be taken lightly or frivolously.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing is that you're asking them for a favor. You don't want to reach out to them and just say, "Hey, I know we're strangers, but could you do me a solid?" It doesn't work like that. You're building a relationship, and no one wants to be reached out by a stranger and just say, "Hey, could you do this thing for me?" Nobody has time for that. Nobody wants to do that.
I know that because we received an email in our podcast email address. Now, if you ever email our podcast, you get an out of office, like an automated message that tells you what you should do depending on what you're emailing. And the person who emailed said, "Hi, Ari and Megan." I'm assuming it's because my last name is Meglin that they got that wrong, but it's not like we say Ari and Rachel in every episode and on our website and in our email. But that person still managed to mess up just using our names.
No, and right then and there, I don't even bother reading the rest of the message because if you can't be bothered to learn my name or both of our names, no. With that said, let's go into sending your pitch. As I said, an effective pitch isn't just you asking them for a favor to boost your book. It's you building a relationship with them, respecting their time and work, and bringing something valuable to their audience. After all, we ask for book reviews to help spread the word, right? If you think a blogger will enjoy your story, chances are their audience will appreciate a great rec from their favorite book reviewer. Now, you should personalize the email you send or message if they prefer being connected through a contact form on their website or a Google form or whatever. As we previously mentioned, but I'll say it again, address the reviewer by name, by their correct name. Keep the email short and sweet. Do not send unsolicited images or attachments. Links might be okay as long as it's clear to your author website, the book's page, etc. Keep in mind some book bloggers don't mind getting a link or two unsolicited, while others do not. Use your own judgment. And also don't use AI to write the email. I'm just throwing that in there. Include why you're emailing them. I don't mean I'm emailing to ask you about a book review. I mean, I've been following your blog for a while now and notice you like mystery, especially your review of book title, and I think you'd enjoy my mystery book. Also, many reviewers add a personal flair to their reviews to stand out among others. For example, they might add a favorite quote or passage from the book, or maybe they'll whip up a recipe from a meal the character ate or something in the book. Make a point to mention how you like their review writing style. And finally, don't make it seem like you're buttering them up. Be genuine about it, please. But this is what I meant earlier when I said understand what book bloggers do. Show your appreciation to their work and show why you'd love for them to show that same enthusiasm about your book. Also, add your book info. Duh. Only include what you need, though. A brief short blurb. Sometimes a one-line elevator pitch is enough to hook them in. Then you can toss the ball in their court, asking if they're interested in learning more about it and see if you get a response. But also add the genre, page count, publication date, content warnings, obviously the author. And if the book is nonfiction, feel free to include a brief bio of the author to show their credibility on the subject matter.
Yeah, that is all great. I'm just going to throw it in. I'm sure Rachel will mention it again anyway. This is not the time to send everything. A little bit of bio, a little bit of information. Don't send an ebook. Don't send all the images they might use. Don't bombard them with everything unless they ask for it. I cannot count the number of times I had guest posters reaching out to me saying, "Can I be a guest?" And they literally filled my inbox with their entire media kit before I'd even said yes. Don't do that. Don't. Just give them the information they need in that moment to make a decision. I don't know about you, but I get to the point where it's like, this is too much. I'm not going to bother. And because people are busy, we're all even busier. I don't know how, but the world just keeps getting busier. They don't have enough time to go through all the extra stuff that you shouldn't be sending too early.
Oh, exactly. I mean, this is what I meant earlier when I said keep it short and sweet. Nobody is going to scroll on a massive email with giant images and text and stuff. A lot of times we get unsolicited emails to the podcast, and it's clear that they copied and pasted from either the media kit or the website or whatever, because the email is written with different sized font and styles, and it's annoying. It just doesn't look nice. You want to keep it clean and short and sweet again. Now, not all pitches will look the same. One, because you're personalizing and crafting each email unique to the recipient, right? Of course you are. But also, it'll depend on what you're looking for, because the point of this episode is to discuss pitching to book bloggers. Not everyone will want to review the book, or they may not have time. They might ask to interview the author and want them to write a guest post, or maybe they'll do a spotlight post or help out with the cover reveal. So you got to tailor your pitch to what you need and be flexible to what they're able and willing to do. Block tours are another story. Maybe that'll be another episode. After sending your pitch, send a thank you email once the review goes live. A little goes a long way. Share the review on social media, your website, email list, etc. And also share other content you enjoy from them on social media. It's a great way to support them and it'll help you guys stay in touch for next time. If it's in your budget and they accept tips, feel free to tip them for their time. I know there's controversy over whether or not book bloggers or book reviewers should accept tips or payment, but use your own judgment. If you can spare like $2 or whatever, feel free to do so. Finally, don't ghost them. Writing is lonely, and this is a great way to connect with new friends rather than just simply getting a review from them.
I think that's an important part. It's not, no one's saying like you have to make, be the best of friends with every book reviewer that you want to work with, but everything should be genuine. You shouldn't be reaching out to book bloggers you've never had any connection to. And also that doesn't mean that like 2 weeks before you want them to review, you suddenly start showing interest in their blog. Don't do that. And don't make it like, oh yeah, everything is great that you're writing. Oh my God, it's so wonderful. It's like they can tell if you're bullshitting them. It should be genuine because you should want a real connection with these people because they're there to help you and you should be there to help them. And Rachel said it, share the review on social media and your website and your email list. Any form of person who is opening up a platform for you, like this is a podcast. We let guests on. We want to help guests. We want to help other authors and creatives be exposed to more people. And I know we're only a little podcast, but we still give space. And I can tell you, it's really upsetting when we have guests on and then they share zero with them. Like zero. Like they'll come on and they'll do a thing and zero. Now, obviously, we don't always know everything. They might put it on a newsletter, but when it never gets mentioned, ever, they don't come and check comments. Again, we're not expecting that all the time. We know people are busy. We used to have that with bloggers on our blogs. We used to have people who would come and be guests, and we would often contact them and say, hey, you've had some comments on your blog post. Would you like to come back and just respond to the people who have read your guest post and want to share thoughts? And sadly, a few guests would be like, nope, no, they wouldn't even say no. They just, I said, ghost us. And you're thinking, so we opened space for you and we shared it with our readers, and readers connected and left thoughtful, genuine comments, and you didn't take the time to respond. I tell you, that looks bad on us and you. So then it's kind of like, yeah, guess who's not coming back again? You don't want to burn bridges. You want to have connections with people. You want to be thought of as like, there should be a little bit of quid pro quo, We're not saying a lot, but just a little bit of acknowledgement that, wow, give some space, we will share it. The whole thing with the tip thing, if you are going to tip, do it after. If you do it before the review, you might feel like it's changing it. It should be an honest review, and then you should tip. That way, there's no, oh, look, they got a tip and then they left a review. Oh, it's suddenly 5 stars. It's one of those things where people don't take it seriously. But if you're doing writing with the sense of being an actual author, a professional author, where you want it to be a business, e.g., you want it to make money, you want to reach people, everything you do should be done professionally. We're not talking stuffy, but it should be professional. You should treat people professionally, politely, thoughtfully, on every level. So yeah, don't just use book bloggers and then leave them once you've got your review in. You should be supporting them. You should be supporting others. I don't know. We've talked about this. It's all about community. It's like if you have a beta read for someone, and then if they do a beta read for you, and then you ask, and they won't do it for you. I get it. Obviously, we don't always have time, but if it happens all the time, it's like there needs to be a little bit of equality with it back and forward. I don't know what any of this. Rachel, just take it all out. It's just garbage.
It's called networking, essentially. But everything Ari said is true. So I concur. And I have nothing else to add. So I'm going to do a brief, not so brief recap. Basically, when sending your pitches, personalize every pitch you send to whoever you're speaking to. Having a template is fine for your book info, but don't copy and paste the entire email or blind copy a bunch of email addresses together. And certainly don't add their email address to your email list without their consent or knowing. That's a big no-no. Keep your pitch short and sweet. Keep a spreadsheet or list of reviewers who you've reached out to and when, and whether they replied or not. Send pitches in batches, maybe 5 to 10 per day so you don't overwhelm yourself. And keep in mind, not everyone will answer. Relationships take time to build, and book bloggers often have a heavy backlog. Also, not everyone who responds positively will follow through with what they say they'll do. There are many reasons for this. Something IRL might have come up, and they may or may not reach out to you. Or maybe they wanted a free book, and that's that. It happens. This is where the spreadsheet comes in handy. You can keep track of who you reach out to and who not to in the future. And finally, don't expect a positive review. Just because a reviewer agrees doesn't mean they'll actually enjoy your book. It's a harsh truth. Sorry. Well, now we want to hear your thoughts. What tips do you have? What's your experience reaching out to book bloggers? Let us know in the comments and we can chat about it. Remember, we release a new episode every Wednesday. Next week, we're discussing knowing when your draft is complete. To ensure you don't miss it, hit the subscribe button on your way out. If you'd like to learn more about us, check out our website at themerrywriterpodcast.podbean.com and our Coffee page for more content. Thanks for listening to the Merry Writer Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. This podcast is brought to you by Writing Distractions. We're stalling on our whips. The music titled Inspired is by Kevin MacLeod, licensed under Creative Commons 4.0.